the beginning of where the insulin comes from stops producing insulin for a lot of reasons. Although they told me, Rosa, we can't find out what the reason is until we go inside of you and take a slice of your pancreas. And I told them, you know what? I guess you won't be able to do that until I die. Because you ain't cutting me just to
They want to cut you just to find out.
I said, we all right. We understand that we have it, and we're going to work with that. So now, with type 1 diabetes, most of the time you only get it if you're at the age of 20 or younger. Mine came or was noticed at 28. And
Wow.
it went through. I went through a series of I don't know what's going on process, because I really was not aware of diabetes because no one had it in my family, and they laugh at me because I was the healthiest one in the family. Right?
Oh, saying you're doing all the things right, huh?
And it still happened. But anyway, so I went through a week of having tingling all in my hand, like it was asleep, both hands. I went through a week of fainting, falling out, becoming weak, sweating, the whole 9 yards. And then a week where when I said I had to, when my body said it had to go to the bathroom, it went without my control.
Wow.
It just went. And so I ended up going to my sister, took me to her doctor, and immediately they put me in the hospital for about 14 days. And they proceeded in giving me all these different kinds of insulin and testing me for all these different kinds of things. And so there it is. And so here it is, 35 years later. I still, right now,
Still been inconvenienced with this.
Right, this dis-ease of my body,
Yes.
and it, no matter what I do. Now, that does not mean that, so let me finish this. Most doctors say that once you're a type 1 diabetic, you will never be anything else but type 1 diabetic. But see, I'm not from that train of thought. I'm from the train of thought that if you feed your body the right thing and every cell reproduces itself in 365 days, you have a brand new cellular body. I don't see why eating the right things, doing the right exercise, having the right herbs, and all that will not. Excuse for the interruption.
It's connected to this.
Right. I'm sorry. You need that. Oh, okay, so sorry for the interruption. You still heard my voice. I'm glad that you can change this experience. I can change this experience. So now, what do I do to change this experience? And this is just me. I'm not a doctor. I don't know what will work for you. So I take my minerals. I take my my vitamins, which all are 100% natural. When I eat, and I do have to take insulin, or my sugar will go up. But there are a couple of things that I take along with each of my meals that do not and will allow my body to release unnecessary sugar.
Thank you.
Thank you. So one of the things that I take after and with every meal is this.
Sweeties. And we had talked about Sweeties one time before.
Yes, I love this product.
Yes.
And it does a lot of things. It stops cravings. It assists you in your sugar level going down. And what it does for me is it allows me not to take as much insulin as I would normally have to do. You know, you have to count your carbs. You got to do all that kind of stuff. Counting carbs is not hard. All you do is, this is what my plate looks like. It looks like, if you look at a plate, you will see that I have one side full of vegetables, whether they're cooked fresh vegetables, sauteed fresh vegetables, whether they are a salad included in that. But that whole one side is nothing but vegetables.
We have a caller?
Yes.
Okay.
And one more thing, let me say this. And so if I eat a piece of fish,
Have a call.
And even if you eat a piece of meat, it's only as big as your palm. No bigger.
So the portion.
Yeah, this portion is no bigger than
Portion.
that. But I don't even eat meat. So now I'm a non-eater. So what I do is sometimes I'll make soy, and sometimes I will buy veggie products. And that's what I use as my meat. And most of those products are made with, I forgot. They're not made with meat, but they look like meat. They taste like
Tofu?
meat. No,
No?
not always tofu. It's a mixture that you can buy in the grocery store, and you can season it with any kind of season you want. I can't think of what it's called. If anybody out there knows what I'm talking about, but I will tell you next time. So anyway, let's get to the call.
Put it in the feed if you
If you know. And so the top part where they say is rice or pasta. Of course, remember, I don't eat white rice. I don't eat brown rice. I do eat. I don't eat couscous because that's wheat. So what I do eat is I eat gluten-free noodles, or I'll eat black rice, kiwan, which comes in black, brown, and red. Mix it with some chopped up onions and cook it that way. But that's about it. And sometimes I don't even have starch. I may do a piece of gluten-free bread. So I eat very, very sparingly. But I love the way I eat. My granddaughter even likes the way I eat. She surprised me. But anyway, let's go to the caller. I apologize.
With our caller, if you would. Caller? Hello.
Charlene.
Hello there.
Hi.
Also, it helps with the weight loss.
Oh,
it's
yes.
gluten-free.
Yes, it is another gluten-free.
Thank you for reminding us.
Yes, yes.
Yes,
And you know,
it's gluten-free. I mean, if you have any type of tickling in your face, I know one time I was having some neuropathy going on in my face. But I realized that when I started taking the sweeties, it did help that. So the thingy like sharp pains that might happen in your feet. I didn't even realize what was going on. But when my mom was giving me her symptoms, I said, okay, we're going to pray over this because this is not going to happen to my body. But the sweetie does help. It helps with that blood sugar craving. It helps with that weight loss. I mean, I just try to take it on the regular. I would have stopped for a while, but I'm back on it.
all right.
Interjecting on that because it will help with the diabetes and anything else that's going on in your body. So, but y'all are doing such a good job. Right now, I just want to interject in and holler at you.
Well, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. That's our third part to this trio.
To this magnificent team here. So, you know, when she talked about this, and you hit on it when you were talking about the cravings, because of course, if for many of us, if you get rid of the cravings, you're no longer, as you share with Ron, no longer eating a lot of those foods that you shouldn't. So then the weight loss comes on. But the two main ingredients here that help for type 2 diabetes, the chromium and the vanadium.
Yes.
For anybody that's taking that insulin, if you take this prior to the insulin and check your blood sugar levels.
I'm gonna tell you, I can't do that. Other people can.
That's why I said type 2. Type 2.
I am diagnosed as a brittle diabetic. Now, what that means is that I am a type 1 diabetic, but my body overreacts to all things, to insulin, to food. I can eat 4 grapes, 8 grapes, and my sugar will go up to 600. I am one of those people who, I call it, I'm allergic to food and so what I do is I take 4 of these sweeties every time I eat, and then I wait 30 minutes and then take the insulin. Otherwise, 30 minutes of this and insulin, the amount of insulin, which is 6 units for me, will have me on the floor. And it will take me a long time to raise my sugar higher. So when we're talking about these insulins, because doctors just prescribe you insulin and pills. and we go about our business, doing what they say. But I suggest, and this is through practice and situations,
through your life experiences.
right, my experience, that whatever doctors tell you to do, you can try it and then still check your sugar. Because you're the only person that can tell them that it's working or it's not. You're the only person. And I had to tell my doctor when they first diagnosed me and put me on pills. They put me on pills, and I kept telling them it wasn't working. My sugar was not going down any lower. It didn't matter what I ate or didn't eat. You know, your body will tell you what's wrong with it. If you get a meter, and I don't have my meter here, or you have someone else who isn't diabetic, and they check their sugar. Meters now cost $19. Get a meter. Check your sugar. And see what it's like. If you're angry all the time and you're upset all the time and you kirk out on people, check your sugar.
Just nasty.
Yeah, check your sugar. If you don't feel good in the morning, well, after having a good 8 hours sleep and you're still tired, check your sugar. Because like I said before, there are over 360 million Americans who are diabetics and don't know it.
That's too much.
Yeah.
That's too much.
Another thing is if you cut yourself and you don't heal, like within the first 6 or 7 days, you don't start seeing a scar come over there, over your wound, check your sugar. Because it can kill you.
Yes, it can.
It will go to a stroke, a heart attack.
Living testimonies with that, because we found out my dad had diabetes because he blanked out driving at a stoplight. Just blanked out. Now, I don't know whether he had any of those signs, because we know some of these men.
They don't tell you nothing.
Yeah. So he wouldn't go to the doctor, and then eventually he lost his eyesight. So it was at a stage by the time we found out about it that we couldn't really do anything about it. Yeah, so that's.
However, you know what? I know that when about the eyesight, when you first find that you have floaters or something going on with your sight, it starts getting blurred. Go to the doctors.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times, what happened to me is I went blind completely. I got my sight back through operation, but the left side of my eye was a total. It's kind of. I think I don't want to say it's a lost, but my retina is stuck to my eye. What is it? To my iris. Okay. And I have not yet found something or anybody or anything that will change that experience. But our company, Longevity, has 2 vision minerals. So if you get in touch with one of us, we can give that to you. Then people have had fantastic results from that. Because there are minerals and vitamins that you can take strictly from your eye. Of course, you can always eat carrots. But if you're like me and you're a type 1 diabetic, carrots are the sweetest vegetable that you could ever eat.
So therefore that sugar goes the wrong way.
Yeah, it could affect that. But, you know, just be aware, you know, and doing something different is a start. One change, like I said.
But Rosa, so you have another heavy hitter here on the table. Wow.
I do.
Okay.
So there are 2 mushrooms.
Turn it. You're not in it. Turn it.
Oh, I don't. She said, I'm not in it. But you hear my voice loud and clear.
Yes,
if you do,
do,
raise your hand and say, yay! Okay. So I also do, I do a lot of minerals. So I do the sweeties when I eat all the time. But I do chaga, which is a reishi mushroom. That is amazing.
Yes.
Along with guano. These 2, and I don't have guano with me right now, but chaga is actually a mushroom that in the